While Verstappen is the face of Red Bull's dominance, his success is inseparable from the team around him. In moments of setback, that dynamic becomes even more important. Hungary revealed just how crucial the synergy between driver and engineers could be. Inside the Red Bull garage, the response to qualifying was unified. There were no signs of panic, only calculated adjustments and quiet confidence. Team principal Christian Horner's leadership ensured that every department operated in alignment, transforming frustration into determination. Even Verstappen's relationship with his race engineer, Gianpiero Lambiase, proved vital. Their communication, honed through years of high-pressure battles, allowed for immediate problem-solving without emotional distraction. This seamless collaboration is what often gives Red Bull its competitive edge. As they prepared for the Hungarian Grand Prix, their focus was clear: adapt, execute, and turn strategy into opportunity. For Red Bull, setbacks are not fractures, they are fuel. And with their champion at the center, the team's resolve appeared stronger than ever. As race day approached, the atmosphere in Hungary grew electric. Fans packed the grandstands, eager to witness whether Verstappen could transform his setback into a statement drive. Analysts debated strategies, while rival teams quietly prepared to defend their positions. For Verstappen, the challenge was clear but daunting. He needed a perfect combination of pace, precision, and patience to climb the order. Red Bull's strategy team had mapped out every possible scenario, from early pit stops to aggressive undercuts. Yet beyond the technical planning, this moment carried an emotional weight. Every great driver is defined not only by their victories, but by how they respond to adversity. Verstappen's setback had created the perfect stage for such a test. As the grid formed, one truth resonated across the paddock: Hungary would demand everything. For Verstappen, it was a rare chance to turn a qualifying disappointment into a defining display of championship grit. And for his rivals, it was an opportunity to prove his dominance could finally be shaken. Verstappen's Hungarian qualifying setback was more than a single bad session. It was a moment that revealed the true nature of Formula One. Even the most dominant drivers face challenges that test their skill, their team, and their mindset. For Red Bull, this was a chance to prove that their strength lies not just in winning from the front, but in fighting from behind. For Verstappen, it was an opportunity to show why he remains the standard against which every other driver is measured. Whether he fights through the field or falls short, this weekend will be remembered as a defining chapter in the 2025 season. Because in Formula One, greatness is not forged in dominance alone. It is built in the moments where champions are forced to fight for every position. As the lights prepare to go out in Hungary, one thing is certain: Max Verstappen has faced setbacks before, and every time he has found a way to turn them into fuel for victory. This test will be no different. Max Verstappen arrived in Hungary as the favorite. His dominance this season left little doubt that he would once again control qualifying. Yet, what unfolded on Saturday shocked both the reigning champion and the entire paddock. A small error combined with tricky track conditions saw Verstappen finish well below his usual standard. This result was more than a minor setback. It disrupted the momentum he had built throughout the year. Verstappen, known for his calm composure, appeared visibly frustrated as he analyzed the timing sheets. For a driver accustomed to perfection, being pushed down the grid was unfamiliar territory. The Hungarian Grand Prix qualifying session revealed how quickly fortunes can shift in Formula One. It was a reminder that even the best drivers are not immune to the sport's unpredictable nature. Verstappen's response would now define the narrative heading into race day. Could this uncharacteristic setback fuel his determination, or would it expose cracks in his seemingly unshakable dominance? The stage was set for one of his most defining tests of the season. Behind Verstappen's setback lay a critical factor: strategy. Red Bull, usually flawless in their approach, seemed to misread the constantly changing track conditions. As rivals adapted quickly, Red Bull's timing and tire choices fell short of their usual precision. The team's decision to delay Verstappen's final flying lap left him with less than ideal grip as the track evolved rapidly. This tiny miscalculation compounded under Hungary's high-pressure qualifying environment, where every tenth of a second matters. For a team built on operational excellence, it was a rare but costly lapse. Verstappen's frustration was clear, but it was not directed solely at himself. He and the engineers knew this was a shared error, one that had allowed their closest competitors to seize the advantage. For Red Bull, the setback served as a stark reminder that their rivals are always ready to capitalize on even the smallest mistake. Qualifying had slipped away, but the team's determination to regroup for the race ahead only intensified. The margin for error was gone, and every decision now carried weight. While Verstappen struggled, his rivals thrived. Ferrari and McLaren delivered near-perfect qualifying laps, exploiting every weakness in Red Bull's strategy. Their surge created a rare scenario. Verstappen would have to start from a position that demanded calculated aggression instead of control. Charles Leclerc's precision and Lando Norris's relentless pace proved that the competition was no longer content with second place. These performances not only reshaped the grid, but also exposed how vulnerable Red Bull could appear under pressure. For Verstappen, this was a reminder that dominance breeds determination in others. His rivals had studied his strengths and waited patiently for any opening. Now, with Hungary's twisty, unforgiving layout ahead, they held the track position advantage. This shift in power added an unexpected layer of intrigue to the weekend. Verstappen had not faced this level of pressure since his earlier championship battles. The challenge before him was clear. To reclaim control on race day, he would need to outthink, outdrive, and outperform a grid that suddenly sensed blood in the water. One of Verstappen's greatest strengths has always been his mental toughness. Throughout his career, he has thrived under pressure, turning setbacks into motivation. Yet, this qualifying result tested that resilience in a new way. Qualifying failures do not only affect track position, they challenge confidence. Verstappen's calm, analytical demeanor in the immediate aftermath revealed his mindset. Rather than dwelling on the mistake, he appeared focused on solutions. His ability to adapt mentally has been a cornerstone of his success, and would now be crucial in Hungary. Inside the Red Bull garage, Verstappen's conversations with his engineers were deliberate and measured. Every detail, from tire temperatures to sector data, was scrutinized. It was not frustration, it was preparation. This response underscored why Verstappen has remained at the top. While many drivers falter under the weight of unexpected setbacks, he views them as opportunities to reset and improve. The upcoming race would be the ultimate test of that mentality, demanding not only skill, but the composure that has defined his dominance. The Hungaroring is one of Formula One's most unforgiving circuits. Its tight corners, minimal overtaking zones, and relentless rhythm make qualifying position critical. For Verstappen, this reality amplified the consequences of his setback. Unlike power-heavy tracks where raw speed can compensate for mistakes, Hungary requires precision and patience. Starting further back on the grid transforms an already demanding race into a tactical battle. Every lap risks becoming a chess match, where tire management, pit strategy, and split-second decisions determine the outcome. Historically, even the strongest drivers have struggled to recover from poor grid positions in Hungary. Traffic can ruin a strategy, and overtaking requires calculated risk. Verstappen, despite his unmatched skill, would be forced to fight his way through this maze under immense pressure. This challenge added intrigue to the race ahead. Could Verstappen transform a disadvantage into an iconic comeback? Or would the circuit's constraints solidify his rival's hold on the front? For Hungary, the difference between frustration and triumph often lies in flawless execution. In the wake of Verstappen's qualifying disappointment, Red Bull's engineers immediately focused on recovery. Their strength has always been their ability to adapt under pressure, and Hungary would demand nothing less. The team reviewed every element of Verstappen's setup, from aerodynamic balance to tire degradation models. Even minor adjustments could mean the difference between a strategic breakthrough and a lost race. The high downforce nature of the Hungaroring required precision, and Red Bull's technical department worked tirelessly to extract every fraction of performance from the RB21. Pit stop simulations were also intensified. In a race where overtaking is limited, pit strategy often becomes the key weapon. By optimizing timing, Red Bull aimed to leapfrog rivals and put Verstappen back in contention. This was not unfamiliar territory for the team. They had turned setbacks into victories before, and their calculated response suggested they intended to do it again. For Verstappen, knowing his team was relentlessly fine-tuning every detail was a critical boost heading into race day. Verstappen's dominance has created a unique burden. Anything less than perfection draws scrutiny. His qualifying setback in Hungary was not catastrophic, but for a driver of his stature, it was treated as one. Expectations from fans, analysts, and even rivals painted every misstep in bold colors. Verstappen, however, has long thrived under this microscope. His focus has always been on results, not narratives. The noise surrounding his qualifying position seemed irrelevant to him. What mattered was how he would respond. This mental separation from external pressure has often been his greatest weapon. While other drivers allow media criticism to seep into their confidence, Verstappen channels it into focus. Hungary now represented not just a test of speed, but of his ability to rise above the weight of expectation once again. For the reigning champion, this was familiar territory. Every challenge he has faced in Formula One has sharpened him. Hungary, though unexpected, was simply the next chapter in that relentless pursuit of excellence.